Salutations, my friends. Hello, my name is Maria. This is Love Party Paint. Today our video is going to be
a total smackdown.
A total smackdown. Ha! Ha! Yeah. Between golden fluid and craft paint. Before we get into our video, you must do one thing. You must subscribe to my channel and like it and share it with all of your friends. Subscribe! We're going to be going over 5 main things. And I will be doing 2 separate paintings. One with the craft paint and then one with the golden fluid to see if they look the same or how many layers it takes me to build up the pigment and how easy it is to use them. So we're going to be using 2 colors to do this. We are going to be using black and white. I will be doing 5 different tests. 1, opacity and transparency. 2, the pigment. 3, the viscosity or the flow of the paint, the ease of use, and the drying time. So, are you ready for our total smackdown? Yeah. Meet me back at the canvas, and meet me back at the canvas, and meet me back at the canvas, meet me back at the canvas. We will get our fight on. Yeah. Thanks for meeting me back at the canvas. The paint that we're going to be working with and testing is Golden's Fluid Acrylics in black and white versus Craft Smart Paint in black and white. The reason I wanted to do this video is because the Golden Fluid Acrylics are pretty pricey, and for the type of style of painting that I do and that I like a really smooth fluid texture to be able to do fine detail work with the script liner brush and to do a lot of blending. So the reason I prefer to use those fluids versus heavy body paints is to get the desired look that I want. So if I could help people who want to use this type of paint instead of heavy body paints, because to me heavy body paints are very difficult to work with, to get blending and to do fine detail work, I just prefer to use a soft body paint. Okay, so the reasoning for this video is to see if we can swap out and kick out those golden fluids and use craft paints instead of the golden fluids to see if we can get a lower cost. So in round 1, we are going to be testing the opacity versus the transparency of the color. And how we're going to do that, I have 2 lines here, and one side is going to be for the white and one side is going to be for the black. And I'm going to see how many layers it actually takes before we can cover the cobalt blue paint. Also in round 1, we are going to be testing the pigment to see which one has a greater pigment value by mixing each paint with equal parts of titanium white. And this is a great test to see how much pigment is truly in that paint that you're using. For round 1 total smackdown. For the opacity on the black, I actually don't think there's a clear winner between the golden and the Craft Smart. The Craft Smart is going to look a little more opaque because it is more of a matte finish, it looks like, than the golden. But I did about 5 layers, I think, of the white, and I didn't really give it a lot of time to dry in between. But with that being said, I think the clear winner on the white opacity is definitely the golden. So the black is a tie, and the white, there is a clear winner, a clear fatality. Okay, and then for the pigment, I do have to say, I think that golden, this side is the golden, and this side is the Crossmart. I think that the golden has a higher pigment value. I did do equal amounts. It's honestly not that big of a difference. It's like, you can't hardly tell that it has a higher pigment. So really, if you're gonna invest your money for opacity, I would say definitely go with the golden for the white. And you can save your money by buying any regular old craft paint for your black. But if you don't want a matte finish, make sure you get a satin finish. So I think the winner of round 1 is probably golden. Although it has a clear winner for the white paint. But the rest of it wasn't as big as a knockdown than I thought it would be.
Sub-Zero wins flawless victory.
For round 2 of our total smackdown, round 2 we are going to be testing the viscosity or the flow, as you would say, by using a script liner brush and trying to see how easy it is without water on our brush that the paint will slide across the canvas. And the reason I'm doing this, so a lot of people use fluid paint for detail work. So you don't actually want it to not be running. You want it a good flow. So that is how we're going to test how thin the paint is. Okay, so to me, we have a clear winner of how much flow is in the paint. The top one is the golden fluid, and the bottom is the craft paint. I couldn't even stretch it across the whole page. This one flowed out very easily, went all the way to the end, and I could have continued doing the line. So definitely the golden won this round. So if you're doing a lot of detail work and you want to make it easy on yourself, I would definitely choose the golden because you're going to be able to get more bang for your buck out of that one.
Zero win fatality.
For round 3 of our Total Smackdown. So round 3, we are going to be testing the ease of use and the drying time. And I'm going to be doing 2 paintings, one using the golden fluid and 2 using the craft paint. They're going to be the exact same painting, and I'm going to see how long it takes to dry and how easy each one is to use. And I'm only going to be using the black and the white paint. So let's do some painting. Cha-cha-cha.
Like paints?
Yeah. Which one has the more expensive paint on it?
I want to say the right one because it looks drier. But on the opposite side, I want to say that the more expensive one would dry slower. But I'm going to go with the right.
Your right or my?
This one.
This one?
Yep.
Wrong.
Ah.
That's the craft paint.
That was my
That's
first
the
one was the
expensive
left
paint.
one. That was my first.
So, my husband guessed this one. You heard him. And I may have guessed that one, but which one did you guys guess? Can write it down below. So that is our video for today, and I bet you're waiting to hear who I think is the clear winner. And the fatality is, I don't really have one. I will say this. Appearance-wise, I like the matte finish better. I think it looks nicer. But I feel like the golden fluid side for me won.
Sub-Zero wins. Flawless fatality.
Only because there are two factors. One, it was way easier for me to slide the paint across the paper, and I used way less paint than I did on this side. I used so much more paint because it was absorbing into the paper and drying so fast. The only thing about the golden that I don't like is I'm not really that crazy about the glossy finish. I would prefer a matte finish. But it was pretty difficult to do this side only because, like, I think it was mainly the white that I was having a problem with. Trying to slide my paintbrush across the paper, it was so rough and so hard that I had to like keep dipping back and forth, putting more water, and it was hard to form straight lines because it kept skipping and jumping because it was drying so fast. So if you want something that's easier to use and in the long run will probably actually be more affordable because you're using less paint and way faster with your time, would be the golden. So I think the golden wins for economically and for your time. So the drying time, if you want it to dry fast, I would definitely go like with those, with any type of craft paint, because they just dry faster. It depends on what type of material you're painting on. If you're painting on a canvas, you probably don't want it to dry this fast. But if you're painting on wood, or if you're painting on vinyl or something of that nature, craft paint's going to be better. But if you're doing paper or canvas, definitely use a regular fluid acrylic paint. And yeah, that's round 3. I definitely think for both, I would say golden, because I don't want mine to dry as fast because it makes it really difficult to blend. The blendability to me is super important. This looks way more choppy than this one is much more blended. So I definitely like that factor way more. But anyway, thanks for hanging out with me. I hope you had fun. I'll see you next Wednesday. Don't forget to subscribe. And adios, amigos. Bye.
That was choppy.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus.
You got it under control over there, Drunko?
Ooh, ain't nothing but a hoochie mama. Just kidding. We have a puppy here today. Hi, puppy. How are you?
Choppy.
Where's your dada? Where's your dada? Where's your daddy? Where's your daddy and what does he do? What you ask? Of what you ask? Oh my god, I'm way too enthusiastic. Total smackdown. I'm about to smack you down if you don't get out of my way. What? Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. What we're going to be testing Choppy, Jesus Christ. Thanks for meeting me back at the canvas. And what we're going to be testing today is a squeaky toy. Or that I'm going for what is in my eye. I'm blinking like, oh, so much. Okay. Oh, jeez Louise. I can't. It's like, there's something in there and it's driving me crazy. Blah, blah, blah.